Okay.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon, sir. Let me fix this. How are you doing today, sir?
Morning, sir.
How are you doing?
Very, very, very fine, sir.
Great.
I tried to do that one, but I found out that I don't really fit into the last one you sent.
Okay, the last role I sent out.
But in actual fact, one other recruiter had actually called me for another role in that field. I think it was what was it now? I think it was material planner, something like that. Yes.
Something similar to that.
Yeah, something similar to that in the same company in the Hughes Baker Hughes.
Oh, Baker Hughes, same Baker Hughes.
Same Baker Hughes. So I like this. I sent my CV and everything. So I just I'm waiting for him to get back with an Indian to get back to me on that. So I guess.
Now, when the person got in touch with you, is it through your LinkedIn work? How did the person get to know you?
He said that he saw my profile in that LinkedIn. No, in Indeed. I think I've been
LinkedIn. Okay.
So he said that I've fit into that role, that he wanted to forward my CV. And he asked me all the relevant questions, which I forwarded to him by WhatsApp. And he said he will get back. I've not heard from him, but I've submitted. So I'm expecting feedback from him sometime this week. By Friday, if I don't get anything, then I'll call him and find out what's going
on. Okay.
It's too early. It's too early. We've done every half hour. No. Every 1.5 hours will be okay. Every 1.5 hours will be okay. Yes, we are going for 15 hours. So we can't be doing 50. So when are you closing?
All right. Okay, let me get so wait for other people to join. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome. I'm just trying to send an alert out that we are live for people to join us. That we are live. This is already 6 minutes after. Waiting for other people to join us. We can go on with all right. Was a comment. Yeah, good afternoon. This super me. Good afternoon. I'm just trying to send a message out to looking for the particular looking for the particular flyer to send out to people to know that we are live. That we are almost there. This one, this one. Okay, that's it. All right, we'll just go for it and let us start. Let's start the session today. Let's start the session today. We thank you, our Father. We ask as we look at these sessions, help us to get requisite knowledge that will help us in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So, Jesus with me. You mentioned that you went for the home. Were you the one that told me that you went for the home?
Yes, sir. Home start
stuff. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it means that they would like to continue with you, correct?
Okay, sir.
I mean, you sent me the message. The interest of
Yes,
that
they want
interested
to,
in.
yes, sir. I think they contacted the references. They sent message to them already.
And any response from those referees?
One has responded. The other one, I called her just now. She said she's in a meeting, that she will respond later. I think she should check her mail. That said she's in a meeting, that she will respond.
All right. That's good. So we'll continue. Last week, this is the third week now that we are looking at succeeding in interviews. Now, like you know, this session is an 8-week course. It's an 8-week course where, let me load my. All right. So while in getting a job, there are many things that involves in getting a job. The aspect of interviewing is a very critical one, which you must be ready for. And like I keep mentioning, that when it comes to looking for employment, okay, let me share my screen. I hope you can see my screen. Isiaka Ganiu, good afternoon. I guess today is your first day of joining us. So if today, let me type out, if today is your first day of joining us, please, I'll put later, I'll put later my email in the chat box that you sent me an email. So I can send you the membership application form, which is free, and you can be able to maximize the benefits of joining this particular employment support that we provide. So those are the topics we looked at. We normally go in the cycle, so we'll start again from the beginning. We are now at number 6, succeeding in interviews. Succeeding in interviews. So you're going for an interview, your ability to succeed in that interview is dependent on how prepared you are when you go for such an interview. Your preparation, your preparedness. Preparedness mentally, preparedness also information-wise, knowing more about the organization, so that you can be able to interview as a very successful candidate. All right. So we've looked at 2 questions, like you saw what happened last week when it comes to, we've only treated 2 questions in about 15 different, so that's the topic we are on. We've treated tell me about yourself, and last week we went further to look at why do you want to work here? And I said, in any time in which you are attending an interview, don't always look at yourself. Focus on the organization. Focus on the organization. Look at what, and it's very, very impressive. And I cannot say this over. This morning we had an interview, second stage of an interview for someone, and it was very impressive. Like the person had taken the time when they asked him, so what are you bringing on board? The person took the time to explain that he has looked at what the organization does. He has been on their website. He has seen the type of projects they do. See, that is very encouraging. When you go for an interview and you are able to demonstrate that you have done some homework. So it's important for you to do your homework. So why do you want to work here? Like we said last week, is asking you, why do you choose us? Why not choose the competitor? Why not choose another organization? So you chose to work with that organization. Why? And that's what they are looking for. So why do you want to work here? We mentioned the fact that you need to demonstrate your knowledge, your ability. And like I mentioned also last week, your knowledge, your ability, your passion, your interest, and situate yourself with that, having the same kind of values like that organization. You situate yourself like having the same kind of values, the same kind of passion like that organization you are interviewing for. It's very important. It's very important. So you evaluate your intentions, what inspires you about the position, research about the company, what are their core values, what are the core values of the organization. Do they offer training? I know they will definitely, every organization offer training and promotion, so keep quiet about that. Show that you are the solution to the problem. Try and articulate that, oh, what's the problem? Show that you have the skill to solve the problem for that particular organization. What are the solutions to the problem? Be yourself and show your passion. Society, award. Be specific with your example. It should tally with the core values of the organization using STAR technique. Don't forget STAR technique is key. What contributions will you bring to the table? What will you come and do? Like as I was telling someone, it's very important that you know what you can bring to the table. It's very important you know what you can bring to the table. if you're working somewhere now as a volunteer or anything, you must know what you can bring to the table. What can you do more? What can you deliver more than what you are just volunteering for or employed? Because that will count. It will help you in your career going forward. So the next question we are going to be looking at is the third one, which second one on this page. Why do you think you are the right person for this job? If I employ you or your interviewer, they're asking you, why do you think you're the right person for this job? Or why do you think you're the best candidate for this job? Or why should I hire you? Why should I hire you? So this is very, very, very important. In this one, you must explain what you've done previously. So these questions, you must exude confidence. You must sell yourself. You must talk about your benefits, the strengths you have. You must highlight the key skills which you have and the amazing achievements you've attained. So talk about your benefits, skills, qualities, strengths. Don't forget KESA or SECA, SEQA or QESA. Your qualities, your qualification, your E, exposure or experience, S, your skills, and A, your achievements. You must be able to articulate this in the way. So when it says, why should I hire you? This is your opportunity to differentiate yourself. This is your opportunity to distinct yourself, to say, oh, I am different. All these people interview for this role, well, they are good, but I am the best. You need to interview and do that. So to be able to answer this question, you must have done your research about the company, about the position, through their websites, through their LinkedIn profile, it was very interesting. Again, just the interview I told you I had this morning, the guy was saying, oh, I went online to search about the organization. This is the second stage of the interview, mind you. I went online to search about the organization. I didn't see much on LinkedIn. That's a good one. You want to hear, it means this person is interested in the role. When they say, why should I hire you? The person goes, like, say, I didn't see much on LinkedIn. I didn't see much on the website, but I saw another website that talks more about those kind of things. So do your research about the organization, their annual report, their press releases, their core values, what industry do they work in. It will be good to know their problem. What are they? And the guy also, this one mentioned, said, oh, I know that you run projects in the community, and he has gone to do his work. So those kind of things are very important. They are key things that make you stand out in the interview. Number two, make a direct correlation. Show how your skills and expertise are the perfect match for the role. When I look down, I'm looking at my phone here. I'm looking at these things I'm reading to you. It's not on my phone. So that's why I'm looking down. So show that you have the perfect skills and expertise for that role. You must spoon feed the panel interviewing you with information for them you don't allow them to guess. You tell them, you lead them, you tell them, oh, I have this skill, I have this skill, I have this skill, and this skill ties with this role, which I'm applying for. It's always advisable to go through the job description and pick 3 or 4 areas. 3 or 4 areas in the job description with JD that you excel in, that you are so good. You know your audience when it comes to those areas. And those are the examples you give practically during the interview session to demonstrate that you are the best of the best in that particular role. 3, build your story around 3 skills you highlighted above and be specific with your example using the STAR technique. Don't forget the STAR technique. Don't Don't forget the STAR technique. Don't ever forget the STAR technique. Because if you don't, okay, I guess you're not seeing my screen. Let me stop and share again. So don't ever forget the STAR technique. That is what you use to answer every question. You set a scenario, you set a task, an action, what you did. What did you do in that role? How did you do it? Then, excuse me, your action and then your result. What happened when you did what you did? What happened? Okay, Fisayo is asking what is the STAR technique. Well, that is what I'm just showing on the screen now. Can you see that now, Fisayo? Situation, the task, action, and the result. So if they ask you, say, let's say you are interviewing for, just to make it as simple as possible, a cleaner role. A cleaner role. So if you're applying as a cleaner, do you know that the same questions and the same way in which you answer an interview for a cleaner role is the same way you interview, well, maybe it might be a little bit different. The same way you interview for the role of a president. Because it's same. We want to know, can you do the job? So if we want to know that I can do the job, you have to tell us what you have done before. So if you are talking about a cleaner, have you cleaned before? When you cleaned before, who testified that your cleaning was superb, was marvelous? Did you get an award for cleaning? Are you known? Or some will say they have OCD. Do you even have OCD? OCD they call it a disease, but in which people that are always fixated on cleanness and neatness all around them. Okay, Isiaka says, I'm new here. Please, I want the moderator to send us these lecture materials. No, we don't do that, sir. You join, we don't send the materials to your email. I will give you my email address. I will send you send me an email. I will send you the form to fill to join this job and employment support club, which is free. And also, if you are new in the UK, send you a template of a CV that you use to format your CV. I will not send the materials to you. Your duty is to show up here every Thursday. Once we show up here every Thursday. So today we are on the third topic. So that's the STAR technique. I told you that the same questions or the same way you interview for a cleaner role is the same way you interview for a president role. I know that the weight, the risk involved, if you're a president, is more than the risk involved as a cleaner. But you see, a cleaner can also be more dangerous because a cleaner can also set the whole building on fire and kill people. So also the president can also, okay, the president can also set the whole nation on fire if he doesn't know how to do the job. So in both roles, the STAR technique is useful. In any role you are interviewing for, always use the STAR technique. Set a situation. While I was working at PricewaterhouseCoopers as a cleaner, I was responsible to clean the office after the staff have finished in the evening. We have a team of 5. I am the lead person that is the head cleaner. So when the office has closed at 5 o'clock, my task and duty is to ensure that all the bins are cleaned, all the areas are wet, all the waste are taken away, the recycling things are put in the recycle bin, everything is sparkling clean, all the floors are, hoovered, and all the hard surfaces are mopped, all the toilets, the toilets are cleaned, the handrails of the toilet, they're all clean, the materials are resourced, toilet rolls are replaced back into those, we had about 15 toilets in the whole building, a very massive building. My responsibility was to ensure that all the toilets are clean, resources are put back. For the ladies' towel, we put sanitary towels for them because of Scotland has a free sanitary towel policy. For the male towel, everything is clean. My responsibility was to ensure that everything is sparkling clean. And because of the way I handled that job, actually, I worked with that organization for 5 years. Because of that, our contract was extended for another 5 years by PricewaterhouseCoopers, because we ensured that that building there was never a complaint by any staff about the resources, about the toilets smelling. No. I ensure that the toilet, everything is top-notch, is clean. So our contract was extended because of my performance as a cleaner with PricewaterhouseCoopers. That is how you use the STAR method. You say what you have done before, and you relate it, and I say, and in this role that I'm interviewing for, I know that you are looking for a top-notch cleaner. I know that you are looking for a cleaner that have attention to detail, which is what I've done. I've done it with PricewaterhouseCoopers as a cleaner, and I'm able to do it with this organization to ensure that your environment are clean, clear, that the staff can be able to have a clean and clear environment to write their contracts, to get more jobs, to consult with other people, that even corporate organizations and clients can come safe into a very safe and clean and neat environment where businesses can be done, and you can be able to win more and more and more contracts because of a clean environment. That is what I'm going to do if you employ me in this role. Will you employ me or not? So who is there? Will you employ me? Mitchell, will you employ me? Officer.
Of course I will. That is a perfect one. You just use the STAR technique very well. In fact, I was wondering when you said the last that your contract was extended. I shake my head. I say, man, you have finished work. You have finished work. Well done, sir.
You must demonstrate the success, the result of where you have worked before. What value did you bring to that role? And you explain that. Somebody saying something? Sorry, can you please mute yourself? I don't know who is speaking now. Who is muted? Okay, it's Isaka Ganyu. Okay, I've muted you. So you could see the way I talked about my role, my task as a cleaner at PricewaterhouseCoopers, and how my cleaning, can you see how I related my cleaning role to the core duty of PricewaterhouseCoopers, and how my cleaning and my attention to duty in cleaning, making sure the toilets are clean, everywhere is clean, that those areas helped PricewaterhouseCoopers to get more contracts, to get more clients, that the staff could work in a very serene, clean, beautiful environment for them to be highly productive. That is how you must connect whatever you are doing, whatever expense you have. That is how you need to make yourself different among other people. You just said, see, I know that in this role you are interviewing me for, I know maybe there are other people you are planning to interview as cleaners. None of them clean the way I clean. They don't have the kind of skill, because I have OCD. I don't have OCD, but you get my point. That I have attention to detail. I'm very, and once somebody passes a place, I go get vacuum to clean it, because I must not see any speck anywhere. So that is the way you sell this. That is the way you sell yourself. So when you ask the question, why do you think you are the right person for this job? Like I mentioned earlier, I told you about, you talk about, when you talk about why do you think you're the right person for the job? So you talk about the issue of, you have done your research about the company, you know what they do, you make direct correlation with your skill and what the role that you are interviewing for says. You have been able to select 3 or 4 parts of the job description, and you're able to, you build a story, which is using your STAR technique, and you say what you do well. Isiaka, why do you continue to unmute yourself? Please.
Because sorry, because I'm with someone that is talking, so I don't want to interrupt the class.
And so let me mute you, because just stay mute, please. All right. So, what do you do well? You must say what you do well and makes you unique. What makes you unique? Relate this uniqueness to the job description. Just the way I given the example of cleaning as a cleaner, how I do the cleaning and relating that cleaning to the job. Okay, if they didn't give you opportunity to express yourself, it depends on the role. If it's not, they're asking for 3-month experience and driving license. If they don't employ me, how will I have the experiences? Well, that's the point. So if an employer is asking for 3-month experience and asking for a driving license, well, if there are other jobs that are not asking for driving license, you look for other jobs that are not having driving license. And if they're asking for 3-month experience, then look for a place where you can volunteer and gain the experience of what is being looked for. There are places that you can go volunteer. There are places you can look for volunteering, various organizations across the UK where you can volunteer. So it's important you look for a place to volunteer to get that 3-month experience. And see, your ability to connect things that look so different is very important. Your ability to connect things that does not look different, the same, is very important. And let me give this example. I know some of people, they having this problem. Some people want to apply for the care role and they've never worked in the care environment before. They've not worked in the care environment before. And they're thinking, I don't have any care experience. And I say, I beg to differ. You have a care experience, because if your parents helped you, if you're the only child of your parents, maybe you don't have a care experience. But if you are not the only child of your parents, of course, you supported your parents, your mom, to take care of your younger ones, or your aunt, your cousin, or somebody you lived with. Better still, maybe even your aged parents. But let's assume there is not, you don't even have any aged parents. Let's assume they are young people. It's related to say, let me just give you a scenario. I thank you very much for allowing me to interview for this role as a carer. And like you know, the role of a carer is very, very important. And with my experience as a carer while staying with, back in my country, while working with my aunt, I was responsible. My aunt actually had 5 children and I was with her, lived all that time. I helped her raise those children. And like you know, the job and the role responsibility of taking care of children is very cumbersome. But I supported her, take care of those children. I was sole carer for them because she works full time. I was a full carer. I was responsible for their feeding, ensuring that they feed at the appropriate time. I was ensuring that even when they are sick, they get their appropriate medication. So I was responsible for medication. I was responsible for engaging them, children, very boisterous, always looking for activity. I provided activity to engage them, to make sure that they're not bored. I will ensure that their clothes are clean and tidy at every point in time. And this role I'm interviewing for, I know is a care home. I know you have elderly people. I know these are old people, but don't forget, you see, the way we are created as human beings, when we grow old, it's as if we become like a children again. These elderly people, the way they think, the way they play, they're just like children. They need pampering, they need caring for, just like when they were young. And so with my experience, the way I help my sister to take care of her children, I'm able to also use the same experience to help ensure that these people don't lose their dignity, these elderly people, ensure that their feeding is properly done, ensure that their medication is given to them appropriately, ensuring that when they have medical, when they have time they're not acting, create games with them, sing songs with them, play with them, play poker with them, play cards with them, and ensure that they are appropriately engaged. I am sure that with my experience of what I did before, I'm able to bring the same kind of diligence, dedication, forthrightness, attention to detail, proactiveness, care, and concern to cater for these elderly people in your organization. I'm sure that you would actually enjoy working with me as a very hardworking staff. So thank you very much. I hope I've answered your question. So let me ask Isaka this time if he will employ me based on that response for a care role. Isaka, will you employ me? Now Isaka is not talking now. Jesus pay me. Will you employ me with that response?
Sir, I want to say that the interview, if they gave us how to put that in, but submitting experience, submitting CVs, they didn't call us for interview to tell what we have, what we can give them, or what we can offer to the care home.
You see, the key point for anybody to ask you to come for any interview, it means your CV was not convincing enough. You can only be called for an interview when your CV is enticing, is interesting. So it means your CV is bland. Your CV does not have anything. Your CV does not have any correlation with what the role is about. At least in this same job club, I had a lady, I've forgotten her name now, who was here. What she did was that she used, and which is good, is an experience. She created a new role and put her husband as the employer, which I felt that was very ingenuity. Put her husband as the employer and she as a staff of the husband, taking care of the children. That's care experience. So it means if you're not calling you for interview, it means your CV is general, like every other person, and nobody likes something that is general. Nobody will call you for interview. Even me, I will not call you for interview. And that's why, if you remember our session on interviewing technique, how to write your CV, how to write your CV, your CV must be catching. They must look at your CV, the first line of your CV must be so catching and enticing that they said, I must speak to this person based on your experience. So if your CV, if they're not calling you for interview, the problem is that your CV is not attractive, selling you enough. You might have the skill, you might have the knowledge, you might have the experience, but it means your CV is not selling you enough. So when they talk about this issue, or when the point of why are you the right candidate, you must sell yourself. You must sell everything in your arsenal. You must bring it out, sell yourself, and link that for this role, I'm the right candidate. I've given you 2 examples now about this aspect of selling yourself. Why are you doing? I've given the cleaner example. I've given you the example also of a carer example, for example. If they even ask, okay, maybe you said because I use example that time, president rule. Maybe should I give you an example as a president? Hey, I want to be the president of Palmer State Road Job Club. I want to be the president. So if I'm interviewing for the president, say, allow me to be your president. How? They say, what have you done? So in Palmerston Street Road, I was the president, I was the area association of that place. I ensured that what the areas are kept clean. I ensured that what the road cars are not parking on the road. I ensure that all the people that have houses on that street, their things are always kept. There was no civil disturbance when I was president of that area association. You get the point. You must show what you have done before. That is why it is called behavioral interview technique. Behavioral interview. What you've done before is what you're going to repeat again. So you must demonstrate this differentiation. Okay, I hope if there's any question, is there any question before I go to the little time I have? Is there any question? So no question, everything fine, good. So it means everything is fine till now. Great. So let's go to the next. So we have looked at 3 questions. So let's assume that you go for an interview and they ask you, what will you be doing in the next 5 years? Okay, Mr. Rotimi, go ahead. Go ahead, sir. I'm not hearing you, so I'm asking you to unmute. Your hands are up. Mr. Rotimi, is it a mistake or can you all hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear
Yes,
me now?
yes, go ahead.
I said it's an interview for a new role, and you don't have a prior experience on that, and you want to demonstrate your skills. Since you said part of your behavioral is to show experience that you have acquired, even to be able to show. I want to know, even if you have conceived, I mean, even if you don't have that experience, you have conceived a similar, like you said, if we can, I'd like something similar, to demonstrate. But if just like someone that has not done, assuming now, I'm called for a role as maybe a cost controller, and I've not done anything on finance before, but I've built my CV related to, maybe because I work in the bank, and I want to express, and I've read a little bit about what that job role is, description of the job role. How do I now highlight a previous experience that will have that star criteria to be able to convince the recruiter or the interviewer that this person is fit for the job?
Okay, well, that's a good question, and that is what, like I do say, you can get a job without experience in that role before. You can get experience without. You can get a job without experience in that role before. Now, when it comes, how would that happen? How would you be able to get experience in a role you've not done before? You see, getting a job in any interview you go for, one of the key points is the aspect of believability. and confidence. How confident are you? How confident are you? How do you come across as confident of being able to do the job? If somebody is interviewing you and based on your interview, they are not clear, they have some, maybe you can call it cockroach in their belly as they're interviewing you, that this person will not be able to do the job. You might not be able to get the job. But the reason why we can say confidently that you can get a job without previous experience is based on how you articulate your experience, how you bring your experience to life. So maybe I should just give, and before I even give an example, is to talk about is to know that in that regard, when you want to answer the question, you need to demonstrate your adaptability. How adaptable are you? You need to demonstrate your quick aptness in grasping new concept, grasping new technique, or doing something new. You need to show that you are a person that go the extra mile. You go the extra mile to ensure that tasks or duties committed to you are delivered to time. Those are key things you need to demonstrate to that role which you have been given to. Now, let me ask you, the cost, that role you mentioned, the cost controller, is it financial related? Is it finance related?
Definitely, sir. Definitely.
It's finance related. Now,
yes.
When you did your either your master's or your MBA, did you do a finance component, management accounting, or
yes.
managers, or
yes.
did you do those ones?
Yes, definitely part of the core.
So if you do those ones, what did you score? Even if you didn't score an A in them, even if you didn't score an A in them, but you did those ones, is your ability to articulate those experiences. So based on that information you have given me now, let me now attempt to give you an example, a scenario, as I'm applying for the role of a cost controller. Let me give you an example. Okay. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Rotimi, for interviewing me, inviting me for this role as a cost controller. And like you know, like you've seen on my CV, I have a breadth and depth in my experience in administration, my experience in various sectors, in the oil and gas industry, in the grocery industry, and also even in non-profit sector industry, where I've had and I've been privileged to lead team, that project. For example, in my role as the head of management responsible for the delivery of the project of the new Aberdeen harbor that's just been constructed, I was responsible for the people management. I was responsible for the administration of the whole project, which was running into about 500 billion pounds. And I was responsible for that. Now, of course, I was not in charge of the account, but you know fully well that while I was doing my MBA, management accounting was one of my core modules, and which it gave me that skill set to be able to manage this project as the administrator, which and I, like you know, in life, there are things you've not done before. I was able to deliver that project, and which I was up to speed with it. I delivered it, even though in this role, I have not worked as a financial controller before, but I'm very adept at quickly grasping new concepts and giving myself to deliver on any project that I'm tasked with. The way I delivered and handled that project, which as an administrator, I'm able to bring the same to this role and bring my knowledge, my MBA as a control, as a management accountant, ensure that the cost centers are managed and ensure that we manage all the staff to ensure that the projects are delivered and the accounts are properly put together. So I believe with my passion, with my experience, 15 years experience as a manager, and I'm able to manage teams to deliver projects on 500 billion pounds. So I'm able to bring the same kind of skill, the same kind of passion, of experience, the same kind of attention to detail to deliver these projects, if given the opportunity. Thank you.
As much on it, and when
so Mr. Rotimi that asked the question is distracted. He's not even attending, listening to us. Do we have someone who can recruit?
it's a perfect, you have answered it perfectly, sir.
You think I've answered it perfectly?
Yes, sir.
All right.
You
So you must be able to look at the role you must be able to look at the role you are interviewing for. What is the kind of person they're looking for that role? Is it a managerial role? You must sell yourself as a manager. You must, and I didn't even mention one aspect, which I normally use teach people also, is the fact that although I've not done this role before, but in life, there are many things we've not done before, which now we are, maybe you've not cooked this kind of food before, but now you don't know how to do it. I don't know how to make cake before, but I was able to, because of my wife's wedding anniversary, I was able to learn, watch YouTube, do a wonderful cake, learn the processes, all the nitty-gritty, give attention to detail. I was able to bake a cake for the first time. So what is important in every project is attention to detail, is the passion, is the belief, the can-do spirit to ensure that the project is done and is done excellently. And I believe with my passion and with my attention to detail and with my always drive to learn new things and face new challenges, I'm able to deliver this project without disappointing you. And again, I'm still doing my ACCA. I registered. I'm a technician, ACCA. So hopefully very soon I'll be able to get through my ACCA and I'll be able to become, technically, like you're looking at, technically inclined or qualified to do. But as at now, I believe with my skill set, I'm able to do this job. So give me the job. So that's the way I would, and that's why I would tell people that it's possible. Look at when you have not gotten a role before, look at your schooling. What module? Is there any module you did related to that role? Bring that experience, show passion, show your adaptability, show your attention to detail, show what you've done before that you didn't know, and now you are master in it, and link it up with this. And I believe, and once your body language and your is convincing, I believe that you'll be able to do that. All right. So if there are no other questions, I will now go to. Okay. So let me now share my screen again. We'll go back to us. So what do you like to be doing in 5 years' time? Now, when employers ask this question of what you will be doing in 5 years' time, they want to know your plan. Are you going to be with us for the long haul? Are you going to be with us for 1 year? Or are you going to just be with us for 6 months? Or are you going to be here for 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years? So they just want to know your plan. So you can just say, in answering this question, it's the same thing like other one. You won't talk about, you break it into two. Well, thank you very much, sir, for that question about my where I see myself in 5 years' time. Well, this role is very interesting and very challenging to me. And so I trust that as I come onto this role, what I always want to always do when I come into new role is first understand myself. I know that I'll be working in a team. So the first thing I'm going to do, the first a year and a half, I will establish myself well in the team. I will establish myself in the team, and I will also ensure that I understand my commitment, and based on my experience and understanding my commitment, I will try to meet, all the customer, for example, and meet all the account plan, ensure that customers, have good experiences, and hopefully, and I will continue to understudy and learn from my manager to ensure that I'm learning from my manager, learning skills, getting new responsibilities. So hopefully, maybe at the end of 2-3 years, I also want to see myself in a supervisory role, learning from my manager and continue to deliver to the need of the corporate organization. So that's where I see myself. So in 5 years' time, I want to see myself having rise through the ranks and become a supervisor over a team, a team lead in this reputable organization. So that's how you answer those kind of questions of where do you see yourself in 5 years' time. You don't show that. Don't say, oh, in 5 years' time, I want to be the manager. I want to take your seat. They will drive you away. They will drive you out. So you want to show your plan, your thinking, your career rise, that you have a plan for career goal in that. All right. Oh, it is 1 o'clock. 2 minutes to 1 o'clock. I am almost tempted to answer one more question. Let's see. What is your greatest achievement? If they ask you what is your greatest achievement, like I tell you when we handle the topic of CV, you must know your greatest achievement when it comes to regard with your professional experience. When we say what is your greatest achievement, we are not saying that you built a house, because that does not relate to your profession. It has to do with in line with your profession. What is your greatest achievement in line with your current organization? And like I gave you the example of when he asked me, tell me about yourself. The last part of that QESA, QESA or SEQA, if it is QESA, your qualifications, E, your exposure and experience, S, your skills, and A, your achievement. So when they're asking of this question of what is your greatest achievement, they want to see what have you achieved in your career. They want to know, are you a driven person? Do you have something driving you, values driving you to deliver projects? Do you have something? They want to know if you are driven or you are very laid back. If you say, well, in the last 15 years, I've tried, but nothing to show for it. Nobody will employ you because you have not shown any development or any achievement. But when you say, well, what is your greatest achievement? Well, as maybe what is you before, Mr. Rotimi talk about controller, as a junior finance staff in my organization. Well, I've worked with the organization now for the past 5 years. Cumulatively, I have about 7 years of 7 years experience as a junior finance accountant. And in that 7 years, the last 5 years was a very interesting and challenging time for me because in the organization I work with, we're dealing with $1 million projects because we had aids coming from various organizations, and I was able to bring about saving costs for my organizations to the tune of $1 million. If you say you save your organization $1 million, because don't forget, every organization that is existing, they exist to either make money, not even make, even charities too, there's it to be, we are not making money, we are making impact, delivering impact in the community. So it's either to make more money or deliver more impact. So what did you do as an accountant? So when you say you helped your organization to save $1 million, it means that you improve the process of the accounting books. Maybe you spotlighted a mistake that would have cost the organization $1 million, or you brought a new process, you instituted a new process, and that new process led to cutting costs of 1 day. And perhaps the consultant that they need to employ for 1 day, you saved the organization by providing the information and helping that organization save that money. And the cumulative money of what you save based on improving the process is $1 million. Does that make sense? So it's either way. At this point, you want to show your greatest achievement career-wise. How did you help the organization to make money? How did you save the organization to make money? How did you help the organization to make more impact in the community? What did you do differently? How did you do your normal work? And like I mentioned earlier, when I was giving the example of the cleaner, always link your work, whatever you are doing, to the bigger objective of the organization, to the reason why the organization exists. Why? So even if you're a cleaner, link it to the core work. If you're an accountant, link it to the core objective of that, the mission, so to speak, of that organization. It's very, very important. So I hope on that note, I would like to stop here. Any question? So today we've attempted 3 questions, which is good. It means we are moving forward. It means we've done 5 questions.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, Rebecca. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah.
So I have one, is it a question? Yeah, a form of question and a form of advice that I want to give me.
Go ahead.
I have one interview with Wolverton something university.
Okay.
So and in person.
Okay.
I'm very far. So I want to convince them to just do the interview virtually for me. How can I approach that with them?
Is the role a permanent role?
Yes, sir.
And do you have the experience for the job?
Yes, sir. And they even included they will be training. They don't really need someone with the whole skills. They'll be training, pertaining the role.
Okay. If they will be training for the role, do they have sponsorship?
That's the problem. We've not spoken about that.
Well, you can ask questions, send information to them, and ask questions that will say, sorry, in my preparation for my interview, I'm planning for my interview. Are there opportunities for being sponsored for this role?
Okay.
Just a simple email. Let them respond. If there's sponsorship, there's no sponsorship, then you know. So you don't spend money to go for the interview, and for me, I always think that because a bird in hand is worth more than 1 million in the bush. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So if you're looking for an opportunity to get in, either there's sponsorship or there's no sponsorship, and you are sure that you look at the job description, the JD, you are well qualified for it, and they said they're going to even train you. That's a good opportunity. And you have been and you look at it that, I've been doing various interviews. I've never had any opportunity. Why not let's prepare for this? Maybe that is the opening. Are you getting my point? Maybe that's the opening. Why not? If they say that they even say I'm going to train you, it means they don't. That is a very good, they're not even looking for your experience. That's a good opportunity. That's a very good opportunity. So it's for you to go there and now be very convincing. Show your can-do spirit. Show your passion and your enthusiasm for the job. That's a great opportunity for you. Either it's far or not far, it's not the issue. The cost is not the issue. It's the fact that somebody say, Rebecca,
Sir?
I assume you're not looking at the cost of going to that place.
No, not the cost. Like I've never been there before, so
Have you been to Aberdeen before you came to Aberdeen?
no.
So what is the problem then?
Okay. Because I had one similar to like that is in Kent. So I told the employer I was like I'm not around London. So they were like, okay, fine, since I'm here in Aberdeen. So they scheduled a virtual training for me and interview,
Interview.
and that too, they don't even need my skill because it has to do with construction that I'm going to learn on the job.
Well, if it has worked for you in one area, try it with them also.
Okay.
It's just for you to ask. It's a matter of asking. If you say, okay, sir, thank you, Mr. Benjamin. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So it's for you to ask them. But what if they're able to change it to make it online? So, but the one you did, how did you go?
It's tomorrow morning. I did the first interview yesterday. It went well. So tomorrow I'm going for the second interview.
Oh, so the one that you changed they did yesterday is yesterday. So this
No.
one that you are supposed to travel for is for tomorrow morning.
No. It's in April.
April. So this one you went for, there were many stages. You passed stage 1.
Yes. Now I think this stage 2 is the last stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you just go use all the things you've learned, demonstrate your passion, your willingness to learn, you're open to learn, and just show your genuineness for the role and everything. And I think don't also be, if you look at your visa, don't also be using the visa to close the door. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Because it is better that you are working somewhere, and from that you spend 1 month working somewhere or 2 months working somewhere. It is better to get another job than when you don't have any job. Does that make sense? So it is better you are at a job to go to another job than when you don't have any job to get the job. So if you have an opening, quickly you put your head in it and secure it. And now, the first day you get into that job, the first day you resume, from that day, you're already planning your exit. You're already looking for other places because your LinkedIn profile will show that you are working in a place. So in that one, it is easier for you to get another job than when you don't have any job. So please, these 2 opportunities, do everything, pray, do everything you need to do, prepare yourself, do mock interviews. And you had an interview. You didn't tell me for us to prep you to do a mock, or the one we've done before is enough.
I just submitted the application and they called me, it's just like a normal conversation the way we were talking like this. I didn't even know it was an interview. So even when the person called me, he was like, he has already forwarded my name and everything, that tomorrow. That's why I just kept quiet when you were talking. I was jotting some things down because I was indirectly prepping myself for
Okay,
the
so all the things
interview.
I've said today for you today is a prep,
Yes.
isn't it?
So I was
Okay,
just
that's good.
most of the things down myself.
Okay, good. Okay, so it means that with all the things we've shared today, you can be able to use that, show your value that you carry. Let me quickly have Somiari before I go to Isiaka. I'll need to hear Isiaka because you are new. We normally introduce ourselves when we come here. Michelle, let me hear you before we speak to Isiaka.
Yes, sir. I actually went through the class today, and I'm able to pick out those techniques you outlined. But I actually want to, first and foremost, since I came into United Kingdom, I've not gotten jobs through interviews. I've done a number of interviews in care and my profession, IT, with cybersecurity.
Okay.
Although they did not go well, but my jobs usually come as a result of referral.
Okay.
But I believe that as time goes on with my level of applications, I will be getting those interviews. Perhaps I've not been doing well in the interviews. That's why I've not been getting those jobs through interviews, But mostly the SIA jobs, remote jobs, I just get referred and then I start working and earning. So from what I've learned here now, we're talking about this technique, STAR techniques and the quest technique. Please, in a summary, I would just like you to highlight the particular ways we can use briefly, how we can use the STAR and the quest technique, because I'm mixing it up on which particular question we go for the STAR and which one we go for the quest. So let me just take note of the exact question before we round off today, please.
Okay, now the second one you mentioned about the quest is not quest, it's QESA. Is KESA. It's just an acronym. QESA.
Oh.
QESA. And that is just talking about the issue of when they ask you for, tell me about yourself, is used to demonstrate the value you carry. Your Q for qualification. Your qualification. E for your experience. What experience do you have? What experience or exposure do you have? S, the skills. Do you have the skills for the job? What skills do you have relating to the job? You talk about security now. What IT skills do you have relating to the role? And A, the last one there is the achievement. What did you achieve while you, with your bits of your previous experience? Now, if you've not been able to get an IT role and you've been, okay, I promised to send my email address for you to, so send me if you have not been able to get now I've just sent my email address now, please, to everyone. If you are new here, I know Gani, just send an email, send me an email to that email, and I'll respond with the application form and the job written. So if you have not been able to get something in IT role, like you rightly mentioned, it means you did not interview well. It means you were not believing, you didn't demonstrate the value you can. You might have the experience, but you didn't show it. You might have the experience, but you did not show that experience when you went for the interview. And that might be a challenge. So interviewing is very important. How you show the value you carry is very important. And I've given all the examples I've given today. If you just catch your mind back, that is how to answer using STAR technique. Every question they ask you, you must use a STAR technique. You must use a STAR technique in every question to show what you've done before and connect it with what you're going to do with this role you're going to be employing for. What have you done before? How did you do it before? And link it and say, I'm going to be able to do the same thing when you give me the role. So for example, now you're an IT person. Is your previous experience, is it cyber security or what?
My previous experience is in engineering, although I've worked in some IT firms, but when it comes to education, it's my background education is engineering.
Okay.
Yes, I worked in IT. So
what area of IT? IT is broad.
So internet administration, I did a bit of internet administration and data management in 2 different companies.
Okay. So when you did internet administration and data management, what was your biggest achievement in those companies? What value did you deliver for those companies? And I've given you an example of value achievement. Did you save costs? Did you increase profit? Did you increase market share? Did you increase staff retention? Did you reduce costs? Did you reduce the time of doing the job? Did you increase the contract? You know, what value did you bring to that organization?
I was able to reduce the time for the job. It was actually supervision, monitoring of internet services, connection of the internet via the routers to different computers, supervising workers. That's for the first job. So the main task was to sign up users and to monitor the logs for a particular website.
But you see, in that regard, for that kind of rule, for what you're looking at is that there's no downtime. So how long did you manage the system without any downtime? So if I'm a company that want to employ you, I want to hire you, I'm ensuring that your expense will help me, that we don't have any downtime, that the computers are all connected, that the computers are all properly managed, that hackers don't have access into our system. So you must demonstrate how long did you manage the system and how many systems did you manage? 50 computers, 80 computers, 100 computers? How many staff did you manage? And ensuring that there was no downtime. No downtime in other words, none of the computers was disconnected from the server. Everything was working fine. All the staff were able to do their jobs because you were maintaining, you put out a way of ensuring that the system is on. Does that help you?
Yes.
That is how you demonstrate your value to another organization, to say, thank you very much, Mr. Mitchell, for allowing me to come and help you interview for this role. I'm an experienced engineer, and when it comes to the issue of cyber internet security, and when it comes to networking and ensuring systems are working optimally and efficiently, and within my 10 years experience as a person working in this field, I've grown significantly, and I've been able to help my organizations to ensure. For example, when I was working at XYZ company, I ensured that I manage 50 computers between 3 levels, 3 floors of building, ensuring all the computers are 50. I make sure that all these computers are connected real time, that there's no downtime. In fact, I was able to ensure that the computers are connected and there was no downtime for 5 years. Because of that, I got an award from my company as the best IT staff, because I ensured the computers were working fine, the staffs were able to do their jobs. Because the staff were able to do their jobs, my company was able to make more profit. They want to get more people, and as a result of that, the company has grown. Our market share grew from 10% to 15%. So I believe if you give me the opportunity to work for you in this same organization, the way I ensured that there was no downtime, there was no disconnection of any computer for any staff in my previous employment, I'll be able to do the same in this same organization for you. So I hope you give me the opportunity. Thank you very much. How does that sound? So, Mitchell, are you still with us, or you are frozen?
Yes, nice. Most of the interviews that I've come across, yes, most of the interviews I've come across did not go to a lot of statistics, verbal reasoning, quantitative. It comes in sessions, and the time given to attend to these questions were very little. So, in fact, my first 2 attempts, I just gave up. I gave up that system of looking for job.
Those are selection. Those are if you want to get the job in that field, if all the companies, you need to understand the industry, if that is the way they employ people in the whole of UK or the whole of Europe for that role, if you want to continue, if you want to get that job, you must go and look for how to crack that problem and ensure that if that is the way, I don't know how that industry is, but if that is the way they employ people in that industry, and you have asked 50 companies and they say all the 50, that is the way they do it. If you want to work in that field, you must go and learn how to crack that code. There's a way to crack the code. There's a way to be able to do those questions. That question are giving you a selection process. So it means if you don't make it, you're out. Does that make sense? So for you to be considered, it means you must jump that process. You must go through that process, not jump. You must go through that process. So that's already a selection. It's a weeding process. It will reduce the number. So maybe 1,000 people wanted to apply for the role. When all of you do the test, maybe only 10 or 20. That has reduced the number from 1,000 to 20. So if you want to join the 20, you must go and there's a secret to pass that question. You must learn how to answer those questions and be able to pass those questions. If you are interested, except you want to go to another field.
Yeah.
Let me take Isaka now. Isaka, can we meet you? You are muted. You are muted. You are muted. You are still muted. Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Isaka Ajide.
Yeah.
I'm in UK, Middleborough. I'm a student in this side. I work with Polaris Bank of Nigeria before I left them because I need to bring my career.
Okay.
Look forward to big my career. So I don't have much time because I'm in a class. So I just want to say thank you. This is what we need even before we came to this world. It's a bottleneck on every body that came around here, because we discovered that most of things we do is very, very far different from what we are doing here, what is on the table. At times we will do a CV that we saw that at the end of the day they will not pick us. Sometimes I do get reply that you like the way the skills you portray, and we have another candidate that's more relevant to this role than you. Thank you. We'll call you later. Those are the reply I used to get. But for me to have you here, I realized that a lot of things have to be done on my CV and on interview, particularly the question on interview I need to do. So I really appreciate you. I really appreciate your time for taking us to coaching us here. And next time I will create more time. I'll create more time, because this is my first time. Is a friend that introduced me here, and I really enjoying it. So
okay. Who is the friend that introduced you?
Is that what? Hello.
Who is the friend that introduced you?
Omalayo.
Okay, Omalayo. Okay. Okay. All right. So how long did you spend in Polaris?
I spent almost 13 years.
13 years. What area were you responsible for in Polaris?
Yeah, I'm an operator person. I'm operator. Basically, I'm a retail banker.
Retail banking.
So I spent retail banking. I spent a lot of time in operation before I moved to the business development. Later
so when you talk about operation, it means that you are responsible with people coming into the bank to save their money, ensuring the money available, the machine, ensuring
cross-selling, soft floor.
Okay.
Those are things we are doing. Customer service.
Customer service, okay. Yeah. And then you now move to business development, looking at other ways for the company. Now, your experience, even though you might not be able to get something like that here in the UK, as in the bank does not sell here in the UK. There are other industries that need your experience. It's for you to sit down and look at those industries that need the same kind of experience you have, that has to do with customer service, customer support, and all those things, and see how you can use your experience, articulate your experience to those kind of employers. So but if you send me the email, I've put my CV there, send me the email, I'll be able to send you the form to join. We meet every Thursday. So I'll join, once you fill the form, I'll add you to the broadcast list. From the broadcast list, you'll be able to get the link for joining every Thursday when we are meeting. So send me an email. That's my email there. So I'll be able to send you a CV template also that you might be able to use to put in your application, to format your CV in a way that will be amenable and open to what entails in the UK. Is that okay?
Thank you so much. So please, I will leave here.
All right, no problem.
Back to the lecture.
Okay, no problem. So everybody, thank you very much for today. We'll just end with a closing prayer. Lord, we thank you. We ask with the knowledge that you send help. We pray for Rebecca that is going for an interview. Let us succeed in Jesus' name, and help that all of us will get our desired career and desired job we want in Jesus' name. Amen. So thank you very much for being here today. Really appreciate your time. I hope this has been helpful to you. We'll see you again. Omotunde Wachuku, how are you doing?
I'm fine, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
How are you doing? Good afternoon.
I'm fine. Thank you very, very much. It was very, very well articulated.
Okay, good. Adebayo, how is Glasgow?
Fine, sir. We are managing, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good. So, Adebayo, currently now, are you looking for a job? What have you done based on since the last time we spoke?
Yes, sir. I've updated my CV and I've been using it to apply for jobs. I got a job for support practitioner, but the pay is not actually well enough. So
Okay.
I'm still trying to find another one. So.
Okay.
Yes,
Good. All right, thank you, everybody. So we'll see you again, God willing, next week, Thursday. Mr. Rotimi, I wanted to even ask, who was it? Okay, so Femiari too. Your LinkedIn profile, what is on your LinkedIn profile? What skills do you show on your LinkedIn profile? Michelle, are you connected on LinkedIn to anybody who is in your profession and they are in the UK, and they are working in the UK, and you have opened up conversation with those people, you send message to them on LinkedIn? Have you done that at all?
No, I've not. No, sir.
That is how you create. That's what I've taught it here before. Niche networking. You go to your LinkedIn profile, you look for people in the industry where you want to enter, and those people in that industry you want to enter, you look for 5 of them, 4, 5 of them, you connect with them, you follow them, you listen to whatever they are saying, and you send a message to them and say, oh, like there's a person I sent a message to. I said, how are you doing? I like the person is in one country in Africa. I just sent a message. I said, how are you doing? I like to know more about what you do. What does your role? What does it look like? What does it entail? That's how you create relationship online.
I will do that. I have 2 or 3. I've spoken with my church. One particular one is even working in that role now. So what I will just do, I'll send them an email telling them that maybe they can reference me and give me a little details of what their daily activities or whatever.
So you must want to create network. Both of you, Rotimi and Sofumiari, and everyone here too, you must be sitting on LinkedIn. I use LinkedIn. Every day I'm on LinkedIn. You must be, that's how you build your professional network. You connect with people, you linked up with people, you look at areas about your industry where you want to enter, what is happening in the industry. If you want to take it a step further, you can even begin to put a small write-up out about that industry. That's how you brand yourself as a specialist in that industry. So, Mr. Rotimi, now you have close to 15, 20 years experience. All the things you have learned and you have done, begin to write about them one day after, one every day on LinkedIn. You'll be surprised how people will be rushing after you.
Okay.
Everything you
I
have
will do
done,
that.
and begin
I'll
to
do that
do a
now.
small write-up, not too long, small write-up every day. That's how you position yourself as a solution in the industry, as an expert for people to look and come after you.
Okay.
Same with you, Michelle. The same concept, and every other person here, whatever expense you have, whatever industry you want to go into, ensure that you are positioning yourself as a professional in that area. But don't go and do like a person I advised some time ago. Our LinkedIn profile is talking about she wants to become a business analyst, but our LinkedIn profile was talking about getting visa, traveling. I said, it's not. People are confused.
Exactly.
Which one are
It
you
doesn't
doing?
tally.
It doesn't tally. So your LinkedIn profile will be talking about everything that you are doing in line with the profession you want to continue in, you want to remain in, or create more opportunity in. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. So
Thank you very much.
again, God willing, next week by the grace of God. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. Please, can I ask for a favor?
What's that?
Okay, sir. Please, I don't know. Maybe you can check my LinkedIn profile to see if I'm